All right, so game of the day. Welcome. We're in Split Surge. Almost said Split Scourge there. There'll be a few of these. So starting with a bonus clip here. What you'll notice is we're actually one man down, and this is kind of fun. This queue, we managed to drag the enemy team, despite being 4v5 the entire time, down to just like 4 or even 3 minutes left on the clock. We did that good. We won so many fights. We continuously decapped. It was pretty good. We didn't win the game in the end of 4v5, but a reasonably high-rated queue at the time is what it was as well. That always feels pretty good. So because we're outnumbered on, you know, just team sizes, I know that we're going to have to basically win some 2v1s somewhere if we're going to be able to accomplish anything. So we see what we do. And that's basically what this bonus clip is. It's quite a long one, so I'm just going to try and play it through a lot. I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to pause too much on the minutiae of the things, but we got a whole game to watch as well. So I come on in, and obviously I've been marked here by a Deadeye, and he's already used his Shadow Flare. So here he is coming at me. I'm not really very concerned about Deadeye right now. There's a definite thing, by the way. Blinding Dissipation is really good against certain, like, SD thieves and people that hold on to you. I've lost a lot of fights against them over the past 24 hours that I know I wouldn't have if I just made the trait swap. But anyway, so this is currently a 1v1 against a Deadeye that he can't get on the node, so I'm actually taking full cap for my team right now as well. So we take some pressure on him, and he's not impressive right now at all in any way. I don't take full cap, and I realize that he might be able to hit me quite hard now. So I come behind the boxes. This is the same kind of maneuver I was talking about yesterday. So we just kind of kite around a few times. We actually saw a little bit of a stealth pile here from him for a second. So we know he's still sort of there. And now, there you go. He's been forced to de-stealth. We get more greatsword stuff up. We continue with our very easy little 1v1 here at the moment. We take a dodge and some reflects. You notice we were getting some stuff here. Into the Scepter too. And now that he's revealed again, we can take more pressure on him. So the game right now is just kind of to ward him off and take full cap for my team. And being in a 1v1's okay, and winning a 1v1 and getting the node is okay. But what I really want right now is... it's not going to be enough to win the game. So what I really want is to be able to make some bigger plays, which is quite lucky of me because I'll be able to. So the Deadeye gets hit really hard there and like has to leave. Oh, this would best be the right clip. So here our Greatsword 2 landed, and we saw that the clone actually got generated, so we know he appeared there. So I jaunt onto it in the hopes that I'll hit him a bit harder. I don't shatter. I could have shattered, but I reason that if he's going to die, then it would probably be to the jaunt. So now the Reaper comes in. So now here's where we really start cooking with fire. The Reaper Spectral grafts me, which is pretty frustrating. I can actually reflect those, by the way, and I've had some hilarious moments where... And the second the Reaper comes in, the Deadeye re-engages. So this is pretty bad. Luckily, he's already Spectral Grasp, though, so I know that he can't come at me. So I can take the kite behind this pillar here. So this is really beautiful. I loved this moment here, okay? So the Deadeye comes in slightly, and what I do is swap to Scepter... And right here on this frame, while still targeting the Deadeye, I hit the Scepter skill. And, like, it's a frame before even I've paused here. But I'm wondering right now, did I get him? Because if I clicked this fast enough, I will be currently using the animation on the Deadeye. So I step away from the pillar so I'm not line of sight. And I'm watching very closely to see if I landed it. And you see here, I get Fury and I get Vigor. Now, these are on crit effects for this build. So I know I hit him. So, and you can even see the arms moving a little bit there. So I know I got a really nice... I mean, that's a huge hit, frankly. So that's excellent. And I can come back over to the Reaper, who's going for the node instead of me here. I dodge his other pull. Here's the Deadeye re-engages the second I turn my back on him. But I'm still reflecting him and whatnot. So that's fine. My Phantasm or my Cloners kept the Reaper busy for a second here. Back over to... I could have held for the Scepter there. Back over to the Reaper, and I tried to use the Greatswords on him. But I get dazed by the Deadeye who's behind me. So I come back towards the Deadeye. And here I use another Mirror Blade. And I'm watching it bounce. So again, I know I've hit the Deadeye. And down goes the Deadeye. This guy's still super low. If you're wondering why he's super low, it's just the pressure from the Greatsword stuff. And as soon as he comes over the body, I Illusory Wave to push him back. I take the Blink onto the node to immediately re-neutralize. So a great lesson to be learned here, guys. About, I mean, look at what this Reaper did. He got his friend killed for, what, about 3 points worth of score before I neutralize, and he can't even say so. And then the body's dead as well straight away. The Reaper's super low. We take the Scepter kill. He even dies off node there. I could have like essentially rotted that, but I would be getting really hit really hard if I had attempted to get extra value out of that. That he's already staggered from the Deadeye, and I know a Deadeye's coming in. So yeah, just a little 2v1. Some of you will be looking at this and thinking, oh, well, they're not very good players, and that's totally fair. But just kind of more examples of how the build executes what it does. All right, so let's get into the actual game now, which is going to be on Capricorn. Can't remember when we last saw a Capricorn game. So in we go with it, precasting our mantra. We're on the blue team. Obviously, this map has the bell. This is a really awesome game. One of my favorite ones of Season 2 to play in the moment. I don't know what it will be like for post-commentary. Obviously, I'm expected to some extent to go close, so I take the blink and the port over. So we start capping that. We're looking at the mini-map very closely right now because we want to see how that engagement goes. We look at the fact that one of our allies, our Ellie, is pushing far. And it seems the enemy team had a bit of a problem with designating someone to close. They're close. So I've got a choice now. Do I assist at mid or do I go to far? Now, if I go for a very quick plus on far, just as a little bit of understanding for you guys, I'm essentially killing everyone here. In a queue, a solo queue, you're basically doing that because 99% of people won't be smart enough to bail early enough. They won't be watching their close point person's rotations in the team fight. They won't be doing it. So if I go there, I am dooming them, and you can hope that a couple escape. So generally you don't want to do that. Also, the fight has just engaged, so their cooldowns aren't very low. It's almost kind of bad that the enemy team took so long to get there, because it means that I don't even have that opportunity of a rotation, even if I'd wanted to. So anyway, we come to mid. And we start trying to unload some pressure. Hilariously, I can't get in combat or cast anything for a long time. I think they outrange my Greatsword 4 there for a while. Those of you who like a little bit less pausing in Game of the Day, but there'll probably be a bit less on this game because it is going to be a long game. So the Thief bails out. I go for the chase. We're just on Scepter attacks right now. We don't really have to do very much else. He's not going to decap that in time. It's kind of lunacy to think he will. And we shatter right as he steals in on me. The idea here is just to quickly stomp that. I didn't have a guaranteed stomp there. He could have moved somewhere, but I want to stomp that out. Now, the reason we stomp a thief in that situation is you kind of got to treat them like rangers when you've killed a thief alone near a node, because they will always just use the port 2 to the node, and they'll even chain it. Like, if you try and rot a thief for too long and they're close enough, they will neutralize underneath you. So rangers and thieves are really the ones that you want to stomp more than anyone else. So my holo comes towards me and he's low, so I'm watching very closely because I haven't really looked at their comp very closely. Here we got a choice of a res or a kill, and we notice this guy's fresh air. It's kind of a bad decision that I'm making here because we do big damage. Now, the reason it's a bad decision is because this guy would have instantly rallied had the timing been any different. But we get a really juicy split surge there. I'm getting such a, like, nice, what is it, like, Skinnerbox style thing where I really like seeing kills come from that skill icon. So anyway, we take the Scepter 3 to hopefully just quickly kill him without him even realizing what's happened. But he vapors anyway. It's not like that's going to get rezzed. We shatter to finish him off. Looking at so this thief is still got the plasma from the steel, his last gasp steel on me earlier. So he precast that before he goes in. I hadn't really realized that was a big thing, to be honest. But yeah, now we get on the Firebrand. So here's another little thing. On the intro to this build the other day, there were a few things I wanted to talk about for Split Surge. Like, if you're going to play a DPS, it has to hit certain bars, in my opinion, of is it good enough, right? And one of those bars, one of those criteria through which I would judge any attempt at a pressure build like this is, can it solo kill a Firebrand? Or you're running the mill Firebrand in a situation where not too much kiting is available. You want your builds to be high enough pressure to blow a lot of their cooldowns and eventually grind them down. So far from what I can feel with this build, I think that is true. But some Firebrands survive a lot longer than others. Anyway, there's a quick kill on one-ish there, but, you know, it's dependent on a lot of different things. Most Firebrands I have killed before some interference comes in, or they get to wherever they like. But that's kind of a really important thing on anyone you're designating in the comp. You want to be able to catch that Firebrand when he's not with his Scourge, or his Reaper, or whatever he's trying to support, and he's moving to a new objective. You want to be able to grind him down. If you're caught alone on a side node or something, and the Firebrand's there, you want to be able to kill it on your own. And I think we'll see a few demonstrations of that here on this game of the day. So, what's going on here? Why did I use the mirror blade over there? Let's have a look. I'm not entirely sure. So we're rotating back. I see I've got a low ally here, I guess. I see I've got a low ally. Oh, and I saw a, was that a stealth field or something there? So anyway, we take that to try and support our friend who just died. to an Ellie. So I can't... Is it an Ellie over there? I think it is. So I can't really do anything about that. The Mesmer pushes deep. So here we could, in theory, save this guy. Obviously, that Greatsword 4 was never going to do anything. But we could, in theory, save that guy by porting up and then CCing. It is only a fresh air Ellie. I gotta... it's not really a thing I've been making many mistakes on. But you got to know very quickly whether it's a Weaver on a sword or a fresh air Ellie. Because they're very, very, very distinct. So here we take the port around the side. Plus the... GS4 just to get as much pressure on this guy as possible. I know how soon this build bottoms out, and it will bottom out pretty quick. He dies to the Scepter 3. You get a lot of kills with it there. And so yeah, we're actually not in the lead right now though. We're in the back position because they were just reclaimed far and mid. As much as I've been rotating around, we can chase the Mesmer with Jaunt here, and continue following him. He manages to jump down, which gives him line of sight. So this is really dangerous and scary right now. I know the idea is I'll deny Bell. You want to deny Bell so that, you know, they don't get all the snowball from it. However, there's a lot of people coming up here, and obviously it's really scary. I do get a split surge kill here, but it's kind of beautiful. Look at the icon. That's a particle accelerator, guys. So what happened, let's rewind ever so slightly, is I'm going to dodge, give myself a mirror, and this Hollow, who's moving up in front of the stealthed Mesmer, I'm going to reflect his particle accelerator, and it's going to come back, and this is him dying here, which is kind of hilarious. I think that's particle accelerator anyway. I try and kite onto the boxes. Bad idea, realistically. You've got to get on the top box to... It's not a good kite. I guess there's a whole other discussion I need to do at another time about the difference between a no-port spot and a kite spot, because they're different things useful for different situations, and going on the boxes, depending on which box you're in, kind of puts you in a different scenario. Anyway, we kite away with a bit of stealth, but we're not actually interested in leaving, because we've got to play for the bell, but they've already rang it, sadly. I was the only one here. The entire enemy team's there. So we're really behind now. We've lost 2 nodes. They got the first bell. The first bell isn't worth much, but if they get, you know, even just one more, they can suddenly represent massive point score swings. So pretty bad. Here we jump down to bait the Mesmer down before jaunting up, and I think I'll be safe here. We even put away like so. We climb up here. Possibly a bad idea. I probably could have kited away a lot better here. He's Condi, so we just don't want to use many skills while we've got confusion on us. We can take the stealth when we're ready for it. We target the Hollow and Illusory Ambush away. Oh, I remember this. Which is really nice. We create a huge gap here, right? We're all the way over here. All we got to do is move slightly over to the side. But he, in the middle of his running around, spamming the skills like you do on a Hollow, he uses the pull. I can't remember what this is called. Hollow pull, let's call it for a second. And he pulls me in, which is the death of me, unfortunately. Spoilers, but the Mesmer's still on me. And so down I go. This guy attempts to res, which I like the idea of, because there's not actually much pressure on me right now. I even get a little bit of bandage value there. But he realizes that it's not going to go anywhere, and he moves. So I think that the NG played very well there. He raised for about the right amount of time. He left about the exact right moment. So, yeah, still not good, though. We're against a double cap. They have double our points now, almost. And I'm not too sour about that death. I mean, it was unlucky with a Hollow, and there was a Rev to cleave at the same time, and we'd been getting chased from the Mesmer the whole way. But I'm happy to take this fight against the Condi Mes on spawn. You have to be... This is another bar, by the way. You have to sort of be able to do. So here we just kite around like this once he's stealth, because I'm not interested in getting jumped by him in kind of a nasty scenario. And we just keep our pressure from far away. So here I've gone to Scepter early. Going to Scepter early on this build is kind of a... it's a sign that I feel I'm going to be in it for a while, basically. Because what I'm going to try and do is get the usage of a ton of Scepter clone generation. And then what I'm going to try and do is get a ton of... go back to Greatsword, basically rotate through the set twice. That's what I want to do. So anyway, we kill him very easily while a Thief is chasing us. So this is a very high power play I've just made here. I've won a 1v1 while being plussed. We've got the downstate there. The Thief is in. We stand up here. I don't actually know whether this will stop him stealing in or what. But I do know that climbing on the boxes will. I don't play for greed here. I know that he's going to res, and I'm just going to take the opportunity to try and just shake them completely. What's the Mesmer going to do, right? So, I stealth on top of the boxes, and I'm okay being outnumbered like this for a while. The Mesmer comes on me again. I use Illusory Ambush there. It doesn't move me as far as I would have liked, but it's evade frames nonetheless. the thief stays on me, and I'm okay with this. I really am. Being like this, but they're not getting the kill, I'm okay with it. I come up onto these rocks because this is all no port, and you'll see this is quite nice against this thief here. He can't actually get in on me. Particularly not on this platform here. He uses Dagger Storm, which is terrible, in my opinion. That's such a low-value Dagger Storm that he just got there. I know it recharges reasonably quick. He's used his second Plasma there, so that's nice. I get pinged by my ally, which just frustrates the hell out of me. Sometimes, like, because you know what this is. This is the mentality of, oh, you're not fighting on the nodes. So no, I'd rather be alive, thanks very much. I just wait a second to verify he's definitely gone. We reclaimed close, where they decapped behind them, as you can see. And we get to move back in. Now, the game is Bell again. And so this is exactly what I was talking about. My guy just got jumped by the thief there, but we don't care. He's already got neutralized. This is exactly what I was talking about. What we want to do is pressure the firebrand before he gets to the fight. Unfortunately, none of them are at a bell. And they're ringing the bell. I can't stop that. If I go up onto that bell, I don't even have Blink to do it. That's a fresh air weaver up there. He will cleave me down. And they ring the bell. So, I just want to point out here the point score. They're at 400. We're at 163. If we're going to be in this game, we're going to have to really try. So remember that thief that plus my holo? He can't beat that. So the holo's free cap in mid. One of them has rotated back to our close. But we've managed to neutralize far as well. So that means it is all empty on the map right now, except us owning mid, which is nice, I guess. We've got the Mesmer, who's harassing still, and we can give it pretty good here. We just watch for... what I want to watch is his Axe 3 or something here to then jaunt away. I got a no line of sight, which was a bit frustrating. I'm happy to pull him like this. And again, you might think, WP, you're not on any nodes. Why aren't you on any... But the thing is, you only really need to fight on nodes when there's, like, really prominent node fighters there. Like, there's a Firebrand who can dip over and support you very comfortably. Well, there's a lot of Scourge stuff that you can sit in. And I don't need that right now. I really don't. Don't forget, if I'm out here, but someone else is, we've paired off, okay? We've created 4v4, right, elsewhere. So, it's at worst a neutral play, okay? It's not automatically bad. Because if you're fighting, you've taken one of them at the same time. And there's no chance he can do anything here. We also mean, though, that when he finally does get to a fight, he'll be low on cooldowns. So anyway, he moves over to mid, and I realize that my guy at mid has died. And I still have a guy holding close. So I come over to far now. Which is a little bit Zerg heavy, but the enemy team Zerged mid. They were 3 at mid there. So, I go for this. It's kind of a bad play, honestly, because Elixir S's are always going to slow me down here. So, in hindsight, I don't actually like this rotation whatsoever. The enemy team doesn't necessarily have anyone respawn either that's going to quickly push this, thus meaning there's some value from me there. So, all I really did there was leave my Scourge or Reaper vulnerable. So, not a good play there. I openly accept that. But we managed to win that fight, obviously. I'm now with a Holo who stealthed me, which I'm pretty happy with. So, the idea here is we got to kill this guy. And disaster, I cast the Greatsword 4 out of range. Which I really shouldn't be doing at this point. It's such a loss of pressure. Like, look at how little pressure I've actually contributed here. It's really bad if you do that. So, I'm just desperately waiting for it to get back. And now we've got it. So, we can take this. I missed a very good shatter I could have done there as well. But now the split surges can begin, and we can actually start doing some damage. Here I get prime lighted as well, and this is my bad too. When I was watching this just a second ago as I was speaking, I was thinking, you know, the illusory ambush moved me in front of their spawn, and I never looked. And we know that we just killed the Holo. So I was itching there, even watching this footage with you guys here on this video. That was bad too for me. I managed to kite away a little bit here just because the build has these kinds of capabilities, not because I'm actually any good. And so now we're in a 2v2, and honestly, I'm not that comfortable with this 2v2. But it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Holo plus with a support Firebrand versus Holo and a split surge Mirage. Now, 3 of these builds are meta, 1 of them is not. So, but the 2v2 is really important. We have to win every engagement now because they're still creeping up. They're getting more points. There'll be another bell to contest. We have to win it. So, here's the 2v2 for mid. And this is the kind of thing I mean, like, when there's players you recognize and when there's good cues, you feel really bad being on a non-meta spec and just letting your 2v2 partner down or your 3v3 partners down and stuff. So that's where the stress came in, like with the Berserker and whatnot. So anyway, we continue with this. We've got good pressure here. We get 3 split spurges in a row on the Holo. we use the Scepter 3 while he's still in S. I need to get used to the timings on that, frankly. We do get low, but we manage to knock him down. So my holo does very well there. I jaunt in and take the divert. He's still immune because he will have popped some stab on himself. But we've cleaved hard enough with the holo there that the firebrand is forced away. Don't forget the firebrand was really low. We take a mirror blade and a mind rack at the same time. The illusory ambush there for the next split surge was really ugly. But he kited around back into the holo and we win the 2v2. Now the only reason I think we won that was because we'd been allowed to engage on the firebrand for the start, you know, so many of his mantra procs would have been blown and so on. But so that's good, right? We've managed to hold far as well, and even the close point engagement has won now. There's a big fight over Bell. I do not go to Bell because I know that the holo is about to come back and I want to fight the holo. If I can get full cap in the meantime, I'll be really happy with it too. So we engage on the holo. So we just won a 2v2. I have to win my next engagement now, which is a 1v1 with a holo. One of these specs is male, one is not. So here I play into his Photon Forge terribly. So I pull all the way out. I see he's in a Prime Light Beam, but I know I'm not going to get hit by it. He'll instantly re-neutralize mid. I'm not really too concerned about that. We get the mage up. He dodges very well on the Scepter 3. We hold the heal there. What I was actually hoping is the heal would evade us on the next time an overcharge shot or something came in. But what we do reflect his own net shot back onto him, which means he can't really get into us. We take some good pressure. Here we kill the heal turret before he could even convincingly blow it up. We get a couple more split surges, and he's really low now. This is still, I know it looks like I've got allies and stuff. This is still a 1v1. And because he hasn't closed the gap well enough, that's his second S there now. We Mirror Blade at the end of the second S and go for a Mind Rack. Stand still, distorting with the Scepter 3. It doesn't get the kill like I was hoping, but the Reflect on the trait gets a little bit more pressure, and all I need to do is just pull back for a second here. He's got great reset potential, but I've got slightly more with the way that our cooldowns are ordered right now. So I just pull out, and you know, I can take it easy here, just as long as he can't cleave too much of my stuff. A really nice illusory ambush there, and we kill him there in the hard light arena and everything. There I'm trying to dodge him, yeah, stomp him in a dodge, but he manages to get the 2. And there we stomp him out. I could have rotted that, question mark. But, and so, you know, you might think, what's the riskier play, right? It's actually not easy for me to know right now. Holding him there, the chance that the firebrand and stuff comes in, or killing him instantly, so that by the time I've capped this, he's already back out, and we have to deal with him again. I mean, I just don't know. But anyway, so a 2v2, a 1v1, we've come out of reasonably well. So here is probably the hardest rotation decision I think I had to make. Just pause the video. Where do you go? Let's think about this. There is a Mesmer harassing close, where I believe that's my Necro. Or there's a pretty large engagement over here where we can see that a Thief is clearly kiting out and we might be able to get a kill. There's also a holo respawning and coming in. None of these guys have managed to win their fights yet. They're still... We had a really nice moment for Conquest, the game type here. The kind of moment that's held to cast, by the way. Because there's a 1v1, a 3v3, and a 1v1. And so mine's ended. Where do we plus now? These very few seconds now... that would have been more valuable had I rotted the body. This is really our opportunity to swing something. Well, I can outnumber just for a moment. So where do you go? Well, as you can see, I choose to go towards far. And I see that the thief was nearby. So I just take a mind burst thingy there. And it doesn't actually work. Now, here's what I think is a mistake. I know that he's going over here and he's going to plus my Necro. But I also know that the holo might be coming and he's not reappeared over at that node yet. So I'm really scared of leaving and just getting decapped straight away. I'm hoping that the Necro will kite out or something. I just think it's bad what I do here. It's just not good. And I look, I come so far as to even look, but they've won that. I needed to be at close already. They're at 4. Guys have got to understand. They're at 475. It's not just about losing the node. It's about kill points that they'll get as well. So this is just trash, to be honest. I should have helped this guy a long time ago. It's a holo. Maybe that might have affected me slightly. So they just stealthed. We got to get a little bit of decap here because I noticed that it was doing quite well. Actually, here it doesn't even look like it was. But moving in, it looked like it was like one tick away from the actual visible animation on the ground here. So anyway, the holo's low, but kited out. So, I mean, really, really good play from the holo here in that he didn't need my plus. And And the second I realize that that's kind of safe, that's kind of okay, I move back through, right? And so here as well, you'll see this is the other reason why me coming here was important, because my allies, once they won there, could come and defend mid, and they kind of moved with us. That's the kind of movement you see across the whole map with the whole team that that often happens in reverse from your spawn. You know, think about like Legacy. You have everybody snowballing too fast, so the guy on close point pushes up towards mid where he watches everything. Well, we kind of got the reverse going on there. Anyway, the thief surrounds. Illusory ambush. I let my holo continue fighting and kiting the Mesmer. The Mesmer, this is the Mesmer, by the way. And he just came here and hid. Still don't have to be concerned from his Condi pressure. The Mantra's just so huge, guys, honestly. And now he goes down. So I realize that's bad. The second I see that he goes down, I blink in. I actually saw it a lot sooner than I've talked on the post commentary here. I saw he went down. I blinked over, and here we saw a cloak and dagger as well. That's dagger 5. He's going to be stealth stomping, so I immediately divert as well to interrupt that too. You see that his body turned as well as he was using his abilities. That tells me that the thief isn't stomping anymore, probably, unless he's like ported. But then that would be a kind of an odd thing to do in that position, as you saw him move there. So we know we're kind of safe. He immediately elixir S's. So that was really important as well, because if that had gone through, the two could have hammered me. I wouldn't have been able to do anything. So now we're going to chase the thief. You're going to see the chase potential of the build because we get a good illusory ambush. Thief can't really do anything running from me here. And so we just immediately kill him with the Scepter 3 here. And now Bell's up. So we got to get back to Bell. And the Mesmer as well. So I'm deciding to go to Bell now, but I'm coming this way, because if the Mesmer stayed deep, I could have jumped him from stealth as well. So here we go with the Mirror Blade. It misses. The Greatsword 4 misses as well, which is terrible. Luckily, it gets CC'd away. I try and knock him over the ledge, because, you know, that would have been high value. The Mesmer returns. And all I got to do is just follow him. These obstructs are so annoying. That Scepter would have hit really hard. I don't know whether he knew that that wasn't going to land. Well, we don't need to go on the node, just as long as we've scared him off of going on the node. So all they have to do is stall Bell just for a few more seconds. Look at the point score that we've picked up here. The enemy team's had nothing since the start of this. So he goes back towards. He can't really do anything. We got a lot of just unharassed pressure there. I mean, he didn't even try, realistically. And now, with this stomp, I know we can swing it even heavier. At mid, I'm checking my health bars constantly. If the health bars were low, I would have gone straight back to Bell. But the health bars are high, so I can take the stomp. I could have hit that harder. I would have shattered, probably, actually, looking at that. We do have a down state here. I move up. But, yeah, it's irrelevant. We get the stall, and there's the friggin' game, guys. There's the game. Pretty goddamn good. Getting an Istan cash out of it. Really fun. So I'll show you the details of the match here as well. Yeah, this was quite interesting. I soloed queued, and so did this Ellie. But everyone else at this time... Did I say on this video about the queues were alright? Everyone else was duo queuing, you know. There's actually 4 sets of duo queues right now. And I was just the extra, and this guy was just the extra. So, you know, these were coordinated players trying. And, you know, it was a really fun, sort of weird game to play at the end. Here's the timeline for you all. At worst, that was when I paused it after the second bell. And they did score kills, right? So they got 4 kills here, which is worth 20 points. And they flipped a node for a very brief moment over here, which gave them all the way up to 475. But yeah, I didn't really get much in the way of top stats there, because it was kind of a flighty, weird game where I was second guessing all the time. Not perfectly played by me by any stretch, but a really fun one. I thought you guys might enjoy it. So there you go. I'll be back for a more Split Surge very soon.